Does the order of operations for post-processing matter, and does it impact how things work? Absolutely, it does. For example, EQs or equalizers, those are going to adjust how strong certain frequencies come across, or how loud they are, or how quiet they are. Then if you run an EQ, you boost something by 10 decibels and then run into a compressor, those frequencies which you boosted are going to cause that compressor to work harder. Those frequencies that you boosted are going to be more compressed. If you cut something, those frequencies are going to be compressed less. So by altering the frequencies in a recording and then running that into the compressor, it is going to impact how the compressor is working. So I always do a high-pass filter prior to running into a compressor because I don't want frequencies that I won't have in the recording to impact how the compressor is working. I don't want 50 cycles hums, 50 cycle hums, 50s. I don't want hums impacting how the compressor is functioning. I want the audio to sound as good as it can before I do any real processing. So the order of operations that I have landed on is, first thing, I will try to get the audio as good as I can prior to hitting record. I'll shut off any noisy things. I'll shut off my AC if I remember to do so. Then, once I have recorded, I drop everything into Logic Pro. I will run a de-reverb. I run a de-plosive because I don't want plosives to impact the compressor. I will run a mouth declick because I don't want those to be brought up and made louder when I compress. And then I will do a high-pass filter with my EQ. I will do other EQs as well. If I want to cut a little bit of nasalness out of the recording, I'll do that. If I want to boost it a bit in the high end, I'll do that here. And then I compress it. And then I have seen people do EQ before the compressor, then run the compressor, and then after the compressor, do another EQ. I don't do that though, but I have seen people do that. And then the last thing that I run is a de-esser, because I want to make sure that even after everything is compressed, there is still nothing that is going to cause any sharp S's, and that is all clean and clear. I am sure that there are plenty of people who have a completely different workflow from me, a completely different order of operations, and I'm sure they are completely justified in their order of operations. This is what I have just landed on, and it seems to work well for me. And in the end, I tried to film a video last week, how I process my podcast, and the introduction was, I will help you get your audios from sounding like this to sounding like this. I realized I couldn't publish it because the difference was almost non-existent, except maybe 3 decibels of gain reduction for a compressor. And that was the only difference. Loudness, obviously, but I had leveled the intro in general, so I couldn't publish it because nobody would say, I'm going to watch a 20-minute video tutorial on how to get my audio to sound exactly the same. So that's my take. I hope that's helpful. The best thing you can do is just experiment, because you probably do a recording 1, 2, 3 recordings a week. Just mess around with the workflow, mess around with where you put each of the effects and see which one you like the results of the best.